Clayton Kershaw has made the news as he's made a final decision. Now, was that Texas or was it the team that is buying every single player? Eppler is now in trouble, who the former GM for the Mets says he has, I don't want to say pleaded guilty, but the investigation has found a result and his ass is suspended. The Minnesota Twins are trying to save their fan base with everything they got by making a big signing. Let's get into it.
Line, right on cue, Carlos Santana.
Welcome everybody to the Touching Bases podcast. I am still on leave and in a hotel on the East Coast, but I'm here to make as many videos as I possibly can, and some news kind of popped off in the last couple of days I wanted to touch on. Starting off with Clayton Kershaw, he signed with the LA Dodgers. Of course, he is staying in LA. It's going to be his 17th year. He signed a $12 million contract for 2024 with a 2025 option. Whether or not he's going to stick around and whether or not he's going to be able to pitch in 2024 is still up in the air. I haven't found anything saying that he's going to be healthy for that rotation, but if he is, that is a huge addition to the Dodgers rotation, and honestly at this point it is much better than the Mariners rotation. Your rotation is looking at 5 insanely good arms. You're looking at Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, James Paxton, Clayton Kershaw, and Bobby Miller. That is, I mean, if Clayton is healthy and he's able to pitch in 2024, I can imagine, given his injury and their concern, he'll probably be a number 5. But if Clayton Kershaw is your number 5, this is a dangerous rotation for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Was thinking possibly that Texas would be trying to pick him up, since that is his hometown and that is a team he grew up watching, that maybe his little homecoming was finally due, even at the end of his career. And since Texas did lose Jordan Montgomery and their rotation is looking a little bit weak, I wouldn't say that Clayton Kershaw would be their ace in the hole, but it would be cool to have him on the team so he can actually represent his home. Moving on, I think it's Eppler, former GM of the Mets. He quit back in October of 2023. I'm not exactly sure why he quit, but I'm going to assume it's probably because he was doing some shady shit. Just a couple hours ago, they determined that Eppler is going to be suspended from the MLB until the end of the 2024 season and going into the end of the 2024 World Series. He was going to be looking for a new job to pick up, but at this point he's been banned. And why? Well, because he was in a way, I guess, helping players make more money, which is against MLB rules. I can break this down a little bit. I'm not too deep into the weeds, but basically he was altering and falsifying documents for players to stay on the injured list in the MLB. And now in the MLB, they make a little bit north of $3,000 per day while they're on the injured list, as opposed to actually going down to the minors where they would make about $500 to $700 a day. Pretty significant income difference. And with him doing that, he was falsifying documents to keep them on the injured list instead of sending them down to AAA. Whether or not he was doing this to help the players or if he was not sure exactly the goal there, but he did get busted and he is now suspended from the MLB for the next 365 days, if not a little bit more. Now my question is, as far as the injuries and the corruption, all that stuff, my last video touched on the whole Moreno family and how they basically were lying about Anthony Rendon's injury and either downplaying it or trying to upplay it. Or I highly doubt they were helping Anthony Rendon, to be honest with you, because from my perspective, it seems like they were saying he had a bone bruise, and that was to minimize the PR risk it came with them still trying to sell the team. Is this illegal? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure falsifying information that was submitted to the MLB falls under this same thing that Mike Eppler was dealing with or doing. Now, is this going to lead to more investigations on teams as far as falsifying documents and information, because this has been going around a lot lately, or is this going to be the end of it and they're tired of investigations or looking forward to the 2024 season? I don't know, but something's wrong here. Maybe the Angels should be addressed, especially since they have been falling under a lot of corruption issues. Because I didn't really cover this in the last video, I mean, it's kind of old news, but an FBI agent embedded into the Angels organization during the entire rebuild and I guess renovations plans that Anaheim was trying to sign into action. And because of this, there was a lot of shady stuff that kind of happened. And I'll just read verbatim. It says, quote, in an affidavit supporting federal search warrant targeting Anaheim Mayor Harry Sidhu, who, by the way, has now left office because of the scandal, an FBI agent wrote that Anaheim was tightly controlled by a small cadre of individuals. In another affidavit filed in the court, the agent alleged that Todd Ament, while head of the city chambers of commerce and political consulate, quote, defined a specific covert group of individuals that wielded significant influence over the inner workings of Anaheim's government. To see that there's a possibility that this selling of the team was fueled by politicians who wanted to make extra money, it's a scary thought, and it's pretty messed up. So whether or not this means they have to vet the new owner if the Angels are back up and indeed trying to sell their team, as news has started to rumble back up again as in the last 48 hours, I don't know. But there's obviously a lot of things wrong with the Angels organization, and now that they completed an investigation with the former Mets GM, maybe they should take a look at the Angels, and also they should take a look at the Oakland A's, as now there seems to be talk that Las Vegas doesn't want them there, and mainly over a dispute on location. That's a video for another time, but I will say, since I'm not going to get that video out before the Super Bowl, location. If they really want to build something on the Strip near the Tropicana Resort, which is supposed to be torn down in a much smaller location that can't really handle the renders that they've released, even the mayor says that it's too congested and it's going to cause too many problems for the locals that are there, when they could be just on the outskirts of the city, the downtown city, which has a ton of room for them to build a stadium, and then also has all of the major highways intersecting in that one spot, so it's easy for traffic to go in and out. This is logical. This is what the mayor of Las Vegas said. And now that we have the Super Bowl happening for the first time, a national event in Las Vegas for the new stadium, this might be the demise to where Las Vegas simply says no. I'm just saying, guys, I'll get a little bit more deeper into it, but this might determine whether or not Vegas is that final opportunity for Oakland. I think there might be some changes coming after the Super Bowl happens. Last but not least, the Minnesota Twins decided to make up for their trading away of Jorge Polanco to the Mariners, losing their best second baseman. I know they have Julian, but he's okay. And because they lost Sonny Gray, who signed with St. Louis, they decided to bring on a bat, and that would be the former Mariner and former of a lot of teams, Carlos Santana, the catcher. Now, I'm assuming he's going to be a full-time DH given his age. He signed a 1-year, $5.25 million contract. Now, if $5 million for a multi-all-star appearing player doesn't speak volumes to his ability and what he can do, well, this should. Last season marked Santana's best year at the plate since 2019, as he slashed a 240, 318, and a 429 with 23 home runs and 86 RBIs between the Pirates and the Brewers. The 37-year-old gives the Twins an experienced option that could work at first base, but most likely going to be a DH, mixed alongside, some other younger players. This is a good addition for Minnesota, especially if he is able to maintain his ability as a batter last year. I don't think defensively he is going to be the best option. He's definitely not going to be playing catcher by any means. I do think he's going to be their permanent DH at this point. Cheap signing, good bat. Hopefully he can hold his own, and hopefully the Twins can start making a couple more moves to really build up that team, as they've seen a lot leave and not a lot come in. That is all I have for you guys today. That's some basic news that we can go over. If you did like the video, please like the video, give it a little smash on the thumbs up button, but mostly hit subscribe. We had 125 subscriber boost within the last 72 hours, and I really do want to thank all of you. If you are new here, join the family. This is going to get good. We're out of the studio, so just bear with me for a little bit as we get back to the studio in a few days. But I'm grinding. I'm here for you. Drop a comment maybe below if you didn't like the video, or if there's something that you want me to cover or look into, and I'll happily record it here in this nice Holiday Inn Express. See you.